The coming wave. This is October the 9th, and I'm not talking about Milton. But it really strikes me that there's a 15-foot wall of water that's about to hit Tampa, and it's going to change the world as we know it in a matter of hours. And it's going to have some unintended ramifications that we will only learn about, but we can project and try to understand today. That same thing is about to happen in the stock market, in our world, in our economy, in the way we live. It's a coming wave. It's a 15-foot wall of water that is going to hit the world, and it's going to keep hitting the world as we move forward, and it's called artificial intelligence. This isn't the first time that's happened. What's different is the speed at which it's going to happen. I wanted you to think about the automobile industry. It goes all the way back to Germany in the mid-1800s, when a guy with the last name of Benz, which turned into the Mercedes-Benz, invented a internal combustion engine and could move a three-wheeled vehicle at the rate of about 7 miles per hour. And that was the start of that wave. The wave really, though, didn't take off until a guy by the name of Henry Ford got involved in it and created the assembly line. And then the automobile became such a predominant part of our society that today there are more automobiles in the United States than there are people. That's a wave, and that's how the world is changed as a result of that wave. And that isn't the only time. Think of the light bulb, Thomas Edison, and how that turned into the radio, and it turned into the TV, and it turned into different kinds of light bulbs, and now it's something that we take for granted. And then there's the internet. The internet is something that I experienced. I remember it called the World Wide Web, and everybody said it wasn't going to turn into anything, but then it turned into e-commerce, and then it turned into social media, and now it is just an integral part of our lives, and it's a part of what we keep in our pocket, and we walk around, and it's changed our world entirely. Well, what's about to happen is even bigger than any of those, and as we got to recognize, as the automobile progressed, as the light bulb, as the internet, there were winners and losers. The internet basically put out print media. We don't have Time. We don't have, well, I guess Time magazine's still around, but Life and Look. How about TV Guide? Remember, we used to always pick up a copy of TV Guide. It doesn't exist, I don't think, anymore. At least if it does, it's not in my world. But that's the wave. Again, think of this wall of water that's about to hit Tampa, and how a similar wall is going to hit our society, and it's, again, called AI. Now, the first step of the AI, which would be compared to Mr. Benz in Germany in the 1800s, is a guy by the name of Jensen Huang. He's the guy who's created the GPU. But I want you to understand, in the whole scheme of things, Jensen is Mr. Benz. He's created the vehicle, which is by which, and don't mean the car, but by which everything is going to grow. Mr. Benz is a direct creator of the oil industry. He's a direct creator of the hospitality industry. He's a direct creator of it was Stuckey's, and now it's Buc-ee's. And it can all be traced back to Mr. Benz in Germany in the mid-1800s, then Henry Ford. And who are the people? Who's the Henry Ford? Who's the oil companies in all of this? Well, it's the guys who are spending something in the neighborhood of $2 trillion on buying Mr. Benz, Jensen's, semiconductors, GPUs, and then turning them into a monetized commodity that they can sell to you and I. And that's Google, that's Amazon, that's Microsoft, and that's Meta. I'm sure Apple's going to figure in there somewhere, but I don't have a good handle on that. But those four are the four that are going to change our world. Now, how big will they change our world, and how important is that that you be a part of that? Well, I want you to look at this chart. This is a chart of those four stocks from 2004 through 2024. If you had bought $1,500 of each one of them and put them in your Roth IRA starting in '04 and then brought it forward to today, you'd have over $4 million in your Roth IRA of tax-free income. And those yellow spots are when they had losses. This is not managing it, just buying it and letting it go. And what I'm telling you is you can do the same thing again. I am confident. You replace Apple with Meta, and we might put Apple in at some later date. But you notice I'm not putting in NVIDIA, because NVIDIA is the Mr. Benz. The people who are going to bring you AI are these. Now, what I want to do is enhance those four companies. And I'm writing a book. This is the cover of my book, as we have right now. And what I want to do is basically document what is happening and share with my tribe members what is happening. I'm going to create this book, but I'm going to fill the pages on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis and share it with my tribe so that they can go back to the start of the book and read it and say, oh yeah, okay, I figured that, and we'll have a diary that we move through the next 3 to 5 to 10 years of how do we invest. And what we're looking for is the McDonald's, the Holiday Inns, the Howard Johnsons, the Stuckeys, those people who are going to facilitate this highway system that is being built. I mean, who are the oil companies? Are Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. But the Stuckeys is maybe a company by the name of Charts, or maybe it's a company by the name of Air Systems that is going to be a secondary player, but is coming in at a very low price and will have exponential growth. That's my role in this. I'm the guy who likes to sit at the computer and do the searches and find the companies that are going to add into this growth and facilitate Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Meta in delivering AI to us. We aren't going to get into where all that's going to go, because that's also going to go into robotics, and that brings in companies like Tesla and a number of others who, and I love what Elon said, that by 2035 there will be more humanized robots on this earth than there will be humans. So we want to keep that in our mind and add that to our Fabulous Four as they grow into their role in this coming wave. Also in this coming wave is then the medical end of it. This is going to be the big game changer. This is going to be when all the medical knowledge becomes available to a computer, so that when you go to the doctor, that doctor has all your family history relative to their medical history, plus all the medical history of everybody in the world. And so if a decision, a discovery, a cure was made yesterday, it's available to you today. That's what's happening. So that's what I'm saying. Compare this to the wave of water, but it's just going to keep coming. It's a 15, 24-foot a wave of water, but it goes back years, and it's keep coming. That's the opportunity that is in front of us, who come together as a community and say, let's work on this together. How do we do that? I've built on the website. I have a cheat sheet. Right now, that cheat sheet gives you, here's a look at it. It gives you the ticker, the market cap, the PE ratio, but it also gives you all the metrics. How good is Apple at generating revenue from investment as opposed to Amazon, as opposed to Coca-Cola, as opposed to any stock you want. Here are the financials broken down in metrics and compared on one place, so you can look at, well, I'm considering 2 stocks here, and which one is the best at generating income, and then turning that into gross profits, and then turning that into operating income. And who is most efficient at it, and then what's their PEG ratio, and how does their current price relate to their actual current value. That's what's going to be on your cheat sheet. Then if you want to upgrade from that level, then the second part of that cheat sheet is going to give you the analysis of not only me, but every analyst in Wall Street as to what is the price of the stock going to be at the end of 24, at the end of 25, at the end of 26, and then go forward. And what is that based on? And how much of that stock is owned by institutions and how much is owned by individuals? And how does that help me make a better investment decision? Now, what I do behind the scenes is create these numbers based on proven analytics as to what is today's price relative to 2027's price based on the proposed or projected earnings of January 1st, 2027, and how does that relate to the current PE ratio as well as the 5-year average PE ratio? And then how can I take the enterprise value and compare it to the current revenue as well as relative to the future revenue in 2027, and what does that tell me the price is going to be, and how do I compare those price projections with Wall Street analyst price projections, and what is the stock that's going to take me there, and why is it going to take me there, and are they increasing their employee count? Because this is critical. Any business, go look at any business in your community, and if they're growing, they're adding headcount. Now, AI may figure into that sometime in the future, but right now, if you're going to grow, look at NVIDIA. Before their price took off, they doubled their employment. Within the 2 years before their price took off, they doubled their employment. Look at Tesla. Before their price went up 1,500%, they doubled their employment. They doubled their debt. So if you find those kind of clues and you apply them and test them against past history, and you see they're increasing their employment, they're increasing their revenues, their price is going to go in the same direction. And if you have access to that information, and we do now with the internet, you got to pay for it. But I put it on my cheat sheet and share it with you. And then I take those metrics and say, you enter the ticker symbol you want relative to the stock you want to analyze, and I'll give you the history. That's what Best of Us Investors is all about. Now, how do you access that? Go to my website, go to Best of Us Investors, and look at our offerings. We have some free offerings that are educational. If you're just getting into this, you don't want to be paying for swing trading. You don't want to be paying for all this analyst that'll cost you $20 a month. No, you want to learn what a stop loss order is, and you want to learn the difference between a limit and a market order. You need to educate yourself, and that's free. That's me giving something to you so you can take the next step to make better investment decisions. You've got to invest in yourself before you invest in a company. And I'll give you that. I'll give you the access to that information. Okay. The end result is, if you want to be successful in this wave that is coming, in this wave that is going to change the world for the good, not like the one that's hitting Tampa Bay, that's going to change. My God, what that's going to do to the insurance industry is unimaginable. If you want to be a part of this, just join the tribe. Get involved in a community that will help you make a better investment decision tomorrow and the rest of your life, and hopefully you will be astute enough to pass this knowledge on to your children, your grandchildren, and you will ride the wave. Maybe you're going to become a surfer. Wow! I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer. I'm a retired financial advisor. I'm here to make you a better investor.